Have you ever wondered what happens when a single mistake shatters a perfect life? When one impulsive decision becomes a point of no return? This is the story of Sarah and Mark, a couple who seemed to have it all, until a single crack brought the entire facade crumbling down. It's a story that asks a tough question. Can love truly forgive everything? Or are there some lines that, once crossed, can never be uncrossed? Sarah and Mark's love story was the kind people write about. They met in college, a classic tale of a shy artist and a charismatic business student. Their connection was instant, a magnetic pull that felt like destiny. Mark was her rock, her biggest supporter, always pushing her to pursue her art. Sarah, in turn, was his anchor, the calm in his ambitious, fast-paced world. They built a beautiful life together, a cozy suburban home, a thriving business for Mark, and an art studio for Sarah that was finally gaining recognition. Their friends called them the perfect couple, and for 10 years they truly were. But perfection can be fragile. As Mark's business demanded more of his time, long hours turned into late nights, and business trips became more frequent. Sarah found herself spending more and more evenings alone in their quiet house. The vibrant colors on her canvases began to feel a little duller, and a subtle loneliness started to creep into the corners of her heart. It wasn't that she doubted Mark's love. She just missed him. She missed the easy laughter, the shared dreams whispered in the dark, the simple feeling of his presence. It was during this time that she met Ethan. He was a visiting instructor at a local art workshop she'd joined to spark her creativity. Ethan was charming, witty, and most importantly, he was there. He saw her not just as Mark's wife, but as Sarah, the artist. He praised her work with an understanding that resonated deep within her. Their conversation started with brushstrokes and color theory but soon drifted into more personal territory. He listened. He understood the ache of creative loneliness. Sarah told herself it was just friendship, a harmless connection with someone who shared her passion. But the innocent coffee chats after class slowly morphed into something more. The compliments felt a little too warm. The glances lingered a little too long. A dangerous thrill, a feeling she hadn't experienced in years, began to stir within her. It was the thrill of being seen, of being desired for who she was in that moment, separate from her life as a wife. Then came the night of the gallery reception. Mark was supposed to be there, he had promised. It was a huge night for Sarah, her first major showing. But a last-minute business emergency kept him in another city. His text message, full of apologies and promises to make it up to her, felt cold and distant. Standing alone amidst the crowd, a glass of champagne in her hand, Sarah felt a profound wave of disappointment wash over her. It felt like a confirmation of all the lonely nights she'd been enduring. And then Ethan appeared by her side. He told her she was brilliant, that her work was the star of the show. He made her laugh, refilled her glass, and for the first time in a long time, she didn't feel alone. After the event, he offered to walk her home. The night air was crisp, the city lights blurred around them, and in that intoxicating bubble of validation and alcohol, she made a choice. One single, reckless choice. She invited him in. She knew it was wrong. Every alarm bell in her head was screaming, but she silenced them with the intoxicating whisper of feeling wanted. It was a mistake, a catastrophic one, born from a moment of weakness and a deep, gnawing loneliness. The next morning, the weight of her actions crashed down on her with suffocating force. The thrill was gone, replaced by a cold, sickening dread. Shame was a physical presence in the room. As she watched Ethan quietly leave, the reality of what she had done hit her. She had betrayed Mark, the man she loved, the man who had built a life with her. The guilt was a poison, seeping into every corner of her soul. She spent the day in a haze, scrubbing the house as if she could scrub away the memory, the scent, the sin. When Mark came home the next day, Flowers in hand and apologies on his lips, the guilt twisted like a knife in her gut. He was so happy for her success at the gallery, so proud. He wrapped her in his arms, and she had to fight every instinct to pull away. Every loving touch felt like a brand, every kind word a fresh accusation. She couldn't live with the lie. The secret was too heavy, a corrosive acid eating away at their shared life. So a few days later, with trembling hands and a voice thick with unshed tears, she confessed. She told him everything. She didn't make excuses. She laid her mistake, raw and ugly, at his feet, hoping, praying, for a sliver of the forgiveness she knew she didn't deserve. She expected anger, shouting, maybe even tears. She was prepared for a storm. What she got was silence. A chilling, deafening silence. Mark's face, usually so expressive, became an unreadable mask. The warmth in his eyes vanished, replaced by a cold, hard emptiness that terrified her more than any rage could have. He simply looked at her, then through her, as if she were a stranger. After what felt like an eternity, he spoke, his voice devoid of any emotion. "I see," he said. Then he turned, walked upstairs, and packed a bag. No shouting, no questions, just a quiet, final departure. Sarah thought it would be a matter of days. He needed space to cool off, to process. She was wrong. Days turned into weeks. Her texts went unanswered. Her calls went straight to voicemail. The silence from him was a constant, tormenting presence. She had expected a fight for their marriage, a difficult path toward rebuilding. She never imagined there would be no path at all. Finally, a month later, a legal envelope arrived. Divorce papers. There was no personal note, no final conversation, just the cold, official severing of their life together. It was then that she truly understood. For Mark, there were no second chances. Betrayal wasn't a mistake to be worked through. It was an endpoint. A line had been crossed, and for him, there was no going back. His love, once a fortress, had been absolute, and so was his judgment. The aftermath was a desolate landscape. The house they had built together was sold. Sarah moved into a small apartment. The vibrant colors of her life faded to gray. She had lost not just her husband, but her best friend, her anchor, her entire world, all for a fleeting moment of validation. The loneliness she had tried to escape was now her constant companion, 1,000 times more profound than before. This story isn't about placing blame. It's a stark reminder that actions have consequences, sometimes irreversible ones. Sarah's moment of weakness, her cry for attention, collided with Mark's absolute principles. Was he too harsh? Or was she naive to think such a deep betrayal could ever be healed? Perhaps both are true. It teaches us a powerful lesson about the fragility of trust. It's a bond built over years of tiny, consistent acts of love and loyalty, but it can be shattered in a single moment of carelessness. Sometimes, "I'm sorry," isn't enough. Sometimes a mistake isn't just a mistake. It's a choice that redefines everything, forever. And sometimes, there are no second chances. Thank you so much for watching and for letting us share this story with you. It's a heavy one, and it brings up a lot of complicated feelings. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been in a situation where a line was crossed? Do you believe in second chances after a betrayal? If you found this story compelling, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content that makes you think. We'll see you in the next one.